dread, throwing these balls and busting their heads. That's what it's finna give, sis. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. Get into my vocals. Welcome to another King of Reese video. I know y'all looking at me like, girl, what is going on? What is the tea, honey? What is going on is that y'all celebrities are out here. I'm tap dancing. What is going on though, y'all? It's been a long week, a long weekend. Girl, a lot of things to talk about. I want to give y'all a special edition of the King of Reese video for this Sunday, honey. But you know, I know that y'all got a lot going on. I know that there's a lot going on, girl. A lot of the girls is under curfew. Atlanta's under curfew to 9 p.m. Well, starting at 9 p.m. we have a curfew to sunrise. Keisha Bottoms, our mayor of Atlanta, she tap dancing too. Everybody is just tap dancing. All our favorite celebrities are tap dancing, including y'all fave. Woo, we gonna get into some things as I swing my bang. Okay, look, child, let me move my bag to the side and stare into the distance, child. What's going on, girl? But I miss y'all. I'm regrouped, replenished, and repurposed, okay? Even with my lighting going out. But before we get into it, as you all can tell, that we about to get into the mental check-ins and stuff. I'm going over really quick. Girl, everywhere. I ain't gonna do too much. I'm sure we all on the same page. Disgusted, disappointed, but not surprised. Same old thing. I have a lot of views of how I'm feeling about everything that's going on. And I'm gonna be honest, I can't talk about it all in this video. I'm just not gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be a special video for that. And I know I said that, but it just seems like every time I get ready to address the things that's going on, it's some more stuff that needs to be addressed. So I'm just like, every time I want to talk about it, it's just like something else has happened, and I want to talk about that too. And I don't want to keep doing like trauma type of stuff over and over again for shock value and stuff. So please forgive me. A lot of y'all have been emailing me and DMing me and Instagramming me and sending me all type of stuff. I really appreciate it, but do understand that it's very traumatizing to continuously sending me articles of stuff like that. Trust me, all the stuff that you are sending me, I am seeing. I see it all the time. The most social media platform that I use is Twitter, and I always say, if you're not following me on Twitter, you need to follow me on Twitter. That is the King of Reads. But like, my mental is all right. She's doing good. I'm just on full display because it's time for me to get into some things. So with that being said, let's go get ahead and get into the tea for today. So we gotta talk about these tap dancing.
Oh, go shuck and jive, I'm gon' shuck and jive, I'm gon' get on down and tap dance, I'm gon' shuck.
Celebrities. Now, girl, I'm gonna be tugging on the girls' wigs. I was going to save this video for another one, because the girls was like, girl, you need to do a Dear Such and Such video. You need to do a Dear Beyonce video. I was like, ooh, that's a lie. And I gotta make sure that I have my things and stuff in order to come to the queen. And I don't want it to come off as like a bashing thing, but I want it to be a conversation. I'm sure a lot of us have a lot of questions after that video that she posted on Instagram. And before you start saying, she done that, she opened her purse, what have you done? Asking a working class person or a poor person, a regular everyday person, what have they done compared to a billionaire, quote unquote, is a trash hot take. It is trash for you to be asking someone who makes $30,000, $40,000 a year, what have you done compared to somebody who's out here worth $700 billion. It's just a trash take. It's a trash take. Billionaires should not exist. That is my politic. Millionaires should not exist. I'm interested in tearing the whole system down. You don't like that politic, I suggest you go find somebody else that's gonna give you some fluffy content, because you won't get that from me. But it took me a minute to get here, so I'm gonna talk to y'all gradually. But the girls, as you all know, things have been going on across the lands. Protests here, there, everywhere. In Atlanta, in New York City, in Los Angeles. Protests have been going like everywhere. Like, people have been talking about what is going on in their city and what's also going on with the system. So now you have, you know, celebrities out here crying over Gucci belts. You got celebrities like Shekinah. some, the Gucci store ain't did nothing to y'all. The Gucci store ain't did nothing to y'all. Then she also was saying Atlanta PD ain't did nothing to nobody, as if we have not lost a black man last year in the hands of APD. Shekinah. Read the room, sis. A lot of our celebrities have just been giving some real trash hot takes. Desi Banks, the comedian, he's been out here getting his butt handed to him too. He posted a picture on Twitter and basically said that these riots ain't the tea, they're crimes and they're not, this ain't no protest. And the girls ate him up. He went from 1 million followers to 500,000. Sis lost 500,000 followers within a couple of hours so bad that sis got on there with her buck wild accent and apologized for his misinterpreted tweet. Let me tell y'all something. I'm very much interested in seeing where celebrities stand on issues. Very much interested. I think times are very different right now, and I need to know where you stand. I need to know how you feel about things. Are you okay with this? Are you okay with this injustice? How are you using not only your platform but your resources? How are you allocating your resources afforded to you? How are you using your privilege? How are you? That's important to me. So you had Shekinah get on the live and just was crying, and she tried to clean up when she was talking to Tory Lane.
Have you gone outside and marched with the people yet?
No, I haven't marched with the people.
Okay, let me ask you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been around when the looting is going on? Have you been around in like any of those places where it has been going on, like in the moments of it going on?
No, I haven't been.
And she was just saying that she wasn't necessarily crying, and man, she was just like disappointed in all the stuff that's going on, and saying that rioting is not the answer. It's not going to do anything. I'm going to say it real smooth and simple for you all. You better look into some history. You better go look into some. You better go check out your folks who've been out here doing this work for a long time.
Let me say, as I've always said, and I will always continue to say, that riots are socially destructive and self-defeating. I'm still convinced that non-violence is the most potent weapon available to oppress people in their struggle for freedom and justice. I feel that violence will only create more social problems than they will solve. That in a real sense it is impractical for the Negro to even think of mounting a violent revolution in the United States. So I will continue to condemn riots and continue to say to my brothers and sisters that this is not the way. Continue to affirm that there is another way. But at the same time,
but even Martin Luther King said rioting is the voice of the unheard. And the reason why I bring that conversation up, I bring that quote up, is because a lot of folks have been out here saying that, oh no, this ain't the tea, like this ain't it, and like we should be doing this, like we should be talking down to police, we should, but girl, people are tired. People are tired. People are tired of kneeling, doing peaceful protests. They are tired. And people are starting to recognize that no matter how you do it, they still don't want it because they don't want to change. So what does that mean? When we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, that's insanity. And we can no longer walk around here doing that. That means that the whole system has to come down. And I will be talking about that. I got some worked up and working on some things. Hair flip. Working on some things about that, but the whole system has to come down. You cannot, it's impossible, honestly, to reform some of this stuff. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. Like, you got voter suppression, gerrymandering, all forms of it. It's just like, girl, and to have Keisha Lance Bottoms get on the TV and scold black folks was highly disappointing.
No, the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and the civil rights movement. You're not protesting anything running out with brown liquor in your hands, breaking windows in this city.
Y'all run around in the brown liquor. I was very disgusted and disappointed, but not surprised, because my folks who are activists and organizers have told me several times about Keisha Lance Bottoms. I remember, and I apologize to my good sis, Angry Black Homo Mark, I love you, who I got into an argument with him like a year or two ago talking about these things. And I said, well, if we don't vote for Keisha Lance Bottoms, who do we vote for? Who do we vote for? If we don't want to vote for the Republican or whatever, who do we vote for? And like, I'm not sure what his response was in that moment. But now I understand it. That it was no, there is no lesser of two evils. Keisha Lance Bottoms came out there and performed that respectability politic. She came out there with that. And she can't help it. Like, that's what she grew up on, that's what she knows, and that's what she's been elected to do. To be able to just herd the black folks and not do too much. Like, don't be doing it in front of you good white folks. So the whole system has to come down. That's my politic on that. I will expand on that. We will expand on that. Me and some other folks will be talking about that. Yes, we will be in the middle of that discussion. Because there's a lot of things that we need to get out here, but I'm giving, grace to those who need to rest their minds. There's a lot going on. So back on the celebrities, you've had some celebrities come out and say some things, and it's just been some trash, like hot takes in the moment. You had Lori Harvey. How much of y'all love her? She was on Instagram posting, her store was looted. She was out here saying, oh, this and that. Y'all are driving around in $200,000 G-Wagons. Y'all are out here living in $1 million condos. Folks are struggling. Folks are living in poverty. Folks have been without checks, without money, and we over here arguing over $1,200 check when our rent is already late. People are tired. They do not want to hear it. I am not interested in out here protecting no high-end luxury black brand. I'm just not interested in it. I am no longer interested in that. Like I've told you all several times, black capitalism will not save us. Capitalism will not save us, period. That's just the nature of the beast, and I don't know how many times we have to have that conversation for folks to understand that. So moving back, there's a lot of celebrities who were saying some trash. And this video is gonna be longer. We're gonna talk about some stuff. This is like a long one, but I got another video planned for y'all. But our fave, Beyoncé, did a video and she posted on Instagram. And let me go ahead and tell y'all, if y'all understand, you might want to unsubscribe. If you're a person that does not ain't interested in no critique, no criticism of your faves, I highly encourage you to go find somebody else to watch. I am not one of the folks. I am not slaves to these celebrities. You take it, you love it, whatever. I'm just not no slave to no celebrity. I'm not gonna be out here praising them just to protect my bag. I'm willing to sacrifice whatever to be able to tell y'all the truth so y'all can see the light. And this, it doesn't, I don't deal in absolute. I'm not a person that believes in a person that's all bad or all good. I believe there can be instances of it. So Beyonce dropped a video on Instagram, and she basically was just saying that she saw what happened, and we are disgusted and we're disappointed about the system and injustice and all that. What was alarming is that Beyonce did not say black. She said people of color, which is just another word to just be more respectable. Like, say black. You black. Black. When you talk about black folks, say black. And honestly capitalize the B in it when you write it. Black. I'm not a person of color. My history is completely different from Asians. My history is completely different from these people, Latinx people. My history is completely different. My people were enslaved. So you're not gonna call me no person of color. You're not gonna group me all together. I'm black. Black folks are being killed in the hands of police. That's what's happening. So don't call me no person of color. Don't call me no person of color. It's a respectable word that it is a way for folks to look. It's a way to generalize all folks who are non-black, and I'm just not interested in that. Now, it wasn't just that. She also, like, it was the American thing. It was just a couple of things that just were off. Like the music in the background, it just seemed very calculated. It seemed very, and I know Beyonce is very calculated, but that was like a kind of a serious matter And I just didn't understand why the need for a filter and all that. And it seemed like she was reading from a script. Now, the big thing with this is Beyonce cannot, I repeat, Beyonce cannot continuously be out here using the Black Panthers aesthetic, be out here doing this performative black stuff, and then when it's time to speak, she's out here doing whisper stuff. We are no longer interested in the whisper communication. We're not interested in that. Now, before you go and say, well, she opened her purse, her and Jay-Z move in silence, I'm no longer interested in moving in silence. That shit is done with. Moving in silence is what got Jay-Z his deal with the NFL. That was moving in silence. No longer interested. Y'all are very loud when y'all want to be. When y'all are on songs talking about how much money y'all make and what you do and da-da-da, and you change the price up, you're very loud with that. So be very loud in protecting black folks and liberate black folks. If y'all as big, as bad as y'all say y'all are, then talk that shit that you be out here performing. And that's not just Beyonce. A lot of celebrities have put themselves, Anthony Anderson, all these folks have done this black performance stuff on their shows and the stuff they do in black this, T.I., Killer. Y'all doing it. Now black folks are like, okay, so that's what you got going on now. Black folks are like, all right, like, I don't have to understand what capitalism is. I know stuff is wrong, so I'm gonna tear it down. You can't be out here trying to say these things 24/7, you black. And then when it comes to like doing the work, y'all asses out here silent, y'all not out here saying things. So to the point, they even done Limitless out here saying, girl, what's the teeth, girl, what's it giving? What's it giving, honey? Like, what is it giving, girl? Because y'all out here, celebrities out here, y'all ain't tweeting, y'all ain't saying nothing, y'all ain't posting nothing, and y'all right here texting me, talking about some, this is sad. Do something about it. Bail some of these protesters out of jail. Support them. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all are not interested in that. Y'all are not interested in that. Y'all interested in doing just enough to be able to promote and keep your books and your pay cuts, your paychecks right. And I'm starting to see that. And I've been noticing it. But Beyonce is not the only one. You had a couple of folks do it. Like a couple of folks were just out here, just basically shoe shining. You had LL Cool J out here shoe shining. And telling folks, T.I. and Killer Mike out here. Killer Mike's out here with a shirt that said "Kill the Masters," and he right here talking about some, this ain't it. I'm confused at how y'all are so comfortable saying that two men own half of the West End. I'm not interested in y'all telling me, black folks built the West Side and black people own the West Side and they got black businesses. Are these black businesses out here supporting folks who are living apart? How y'all sitting here talking about some protect these black businesses and these black mayors have been steady okay with black folks being moved outside the city of Atlanta? West End of Atlanta is gentrified. The West Side of Atlanta, or whatever West End, it's gentrified. Like I live in Midtown. I see it. There's a bunch of white folks living out here. So this ain't no Wakanda. This ain't no Wakanda. Yeah, Wakanda is a fictional place, and Wakanda was only able to be Wakanda because they hoarded wealth and they didn't take care of their people. That's what they did. They lived in secrecy and in silence. They kept their stuff in silence because they didn't want to share it with nobody. Like, we're good, they'll figure it out. So I'm no longer interested in folks about moving in silence and moving in money. Like, get it. Like these folks out here doing this stuff. They're out here talking about the very system. People, you can't tell people to pray no more. It ain't working. Beyonce, girl, it ain't working. You can't tell these folks, you can't tell them. But you want to tell them ain't the same stuff as what you've been telling them in your music. You out here twirling at the Super Bowl with Black Panther aesthetic clothes and stuff, and then when it's time to perform the Black Panther stuff, y'all out here talking about some, we stand together, we gonna pray and da-da-da-da. No ma'am, it's time to tear down. That's what it is. It's time to tear the system down. That's what it is. Ain't no reform, girl. Folks have been voting. Folks have been out here protesting. They've been out here kneeling. They have been doing all of these things. And what have they gained from it? When they was out here kneeling, what did the president out here say? Get these SOBs off the field, pop them in the head, do all of that. That's what he said. And then y'all act like this didn't happen under Obama's watch. Mike Brown happened under Obama's watch. Trayvon Martin happened under Obama's watch. I know y'all about to go out here and protect Obama and say, well, he couldn't do too much, So if we are acknowledging that Obama wasn't able to do stuff because his hands was tied, then the system ain't gonna work. It's not. Y'all had a black president. We had a black, what was it, Attorney General, Eric Holder. Like, girl, what? What do y'all want? It ain't gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. So, that's my take on that. Shekinah, you look silly. You look like a silly tomato. You look like, what's the squash? You like a happy squash. Girl, you got your round face ass on this camera crying about Gucci store. The same Gucci that stood up here and had to apologize for black face on their clothes and stuff. Like, girl, come on now. I don't care about Gucci. What y'all pressed about is that y'all don't want to see folks in Atlanta walking around and driving the same stuff that y'all got. Y'all okay with living in y'all ivory towers and having money and being cool. You okay with that? You okay with that? And now it's like, girl, I'm tired. Like, these folks are tired. You can't tell these folks, even Van Jones was on CNN saying, you can't tell these folks to vote and stuff no more. You can't tell these folks to patient. They tired. Keisha Lance Bottoms, girl, they are tired. They ain't interested in you. You can't even share. I'm a mother. They ain't trying to hear that, sis. They are not trying to hear that, girl. So, sorry. Another celebrity, Miles Morales. Not Miles Morales, Shameik Moore, who plays Miles Morales in Into the Spider-Verse, which I love that movie. Loved it. He was out here shoe shining right on Miss Twitter too, posting videos talking about this ain't right, stop looting, this ain't the way y'all got to respect folks, y'all got to respect the police and all that other stuff and da-da-da-da. And even when people are trying to educate him, because I think even Crystal's tried to reach out from the Read, tried to reach out and say something, and it was ignored. It was ignored. These folks are interested in continuously playing this raccoon stuff, and they some of them just like, no, y'all are wrong. No, you are wrong. So in some of them, we need to leave for good. We're gonna have to leave them for good. Lil Wayne was on some talking to what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Fat Joe, talking to him, or Joe, whatever his name is this week. He was out here shoe shining too, talking about something. Well, black folks can't respect themselves, how police don't respect them. Wayne can't even keep his black hair in his head, and he can't even keep his locks on in decent condition. Not interested in what he got to say. He can miss me. He can most definitely miss me. Moving on to some other stuff, girl. I told y'all this video is gonna be long, girl. Doing all of this stuff, girl, we got Jada Pinkett and her family. Child, what's the name called? My girl, Afro-nominal. Call them girls the Yellow family. Jada's mama, Willow, and Jada were all on Red Table Talk talking about colorism. What's wrong with y'all? Read the room. How many times we got to tell y'all that? How many times y'all gonna have how many times y'all gonna have colorism conversation with just only light skinned folk? Girl, Jada, get your ass, you moon crystal magic tiara Sailor Moon built ass on somewhere with this mess. Now she in distress. I don't even want to talk about that no more. I'm just trying to see how these folks in here have a whole conversation about colorism and everybody is light skinned. Everybody is light skinned. Girl, control yourselves. Moving on. Shameik Moore, I'm so disappointed in him. Moving in white news, Kylie Jenner come to find out she ain't no billionaire. Well, she wasn't a billionaire. She might be right. She might be close to it, but she ain't there yet. Come to find out, the Kardashians were begging and pleading and begging and pleading and begging and pleading Forbes magazine to count him as a billionaire. Like, was showing all type of finances. The Jenners were out here promoting it. Like, girl, like, look at these receipts. She worth $1 billion. She got plenty of money. I'm no longer interested in supporting the Kardashians in any type of way. Kim Kardashian, the whole family, is a whole fool. Kylie Jenner got on Twitter and to defend herself after the article dropped from Forbes. Like, girl, they said Kylie Jenner is not no self-made billionaire. Duh, we already knew that. They dragged her from here to Kingdom Come, girl. They dragged her so hard. They basically said, girl, baby. Kylie Jenner basically boasted about her sales, and she lied about her sales. She lied about how much her company was worth. That made her money. That is how capitalism works. You lie, you lie, you lie, you lie. That, like, it'd be so confusing because even when you talk about the stock markets and stuff, like, you got folks who had so many dollars in Uber stock that sold their stuff right before the pandemic happened. I'm telling y'all, like, that is like, y'all, we be trying to like stop this and that. That is how capitalism works. That is just how it is. Folks are lying to get ahead. They're gonna do what they got to do to be able to save their bottom line. That's just what it is. That's why I can no longer support it. That's when, girl, I was in a whole argument with some dumbass the other day about capitalism not being evil. Jesus Christ, I had to just get off the phone. But Kylie Jenner basically boasted about like this stuff, and come to find out all of it was a lie. And Forbes said, girl, you know, when you sold your company, when you sold 50% of your company, it wasn't worth, like when we looked at the stuff, it just wasn't worth, you said, and now that you'd have made money off of it. The company, I think, paid a substantial amount of money for the stake in Kylie Jenner's company. I forgot, I think she sold 50% or like almost all of it. But the company that bought it actually spent more money than what it was worth. But that's just how it is. That's what's going on in West End Atlanta, when you got folks around here buying property now that it's worth something and now want to transform it, but out here raising the prices up so high that the folks who are living in this community can no longer afford it. Like, it's just a mess.
Is it a coincidence? I ask you, is it a coincidence?
Rolling Karen, honey. So if you don't know about Rolling Karen, girl, you better look it up. Rolling Karen was this white woman who was in a wheelchair, and sis was out here trying to protect her local Target, and she ended up being one. Okay, now the media was going out here making it seem like that a lot of folks were jumping on an elderly woman and all this other stuff. Come to find out, sis was sitting in her wheelchair with a sharp object in her hand, and she was trying to stop folks from looting the Target. As if this ain't the same Target that before the pandemic increased the pay for their workers, but decreased their hours. When I decrease, you increase, face ass. So you gonna give me more money for my hours, but you gonna decrease my hours. Sound like a scam. So not only this is the same Target that was paying the people who was out here handling groceries and handling stuff, and was in like on the front lines, the quote unquote essential workers, took away their pay, the additional like hazard pay that they was getting. The pandemic's still going on, numbers are still going up. Target said, girl, we ain't finna close down and pay y'all while this stuff is going on. We got to make money. We got to make money. That is all what it's about. So I don't care about no Target. I don't care about no Target being open and snatched up. Or I do not care about no Target getting snatched up. I don't. And just like Tamika said in that speech, she said that Target will be out here with the people protesting with the folks if they truly care. Now, this cute post that y'all doing on social media and stuff, and oh, we stand with these people, da da da. It ain't enough for me. It ain't enough. Open your purse. Open your purse. Period. And we need to know how much you done gave. We need to know, because you can't be worth. Your company worth $500 million. You around here giving $50. Absolutely not. So, but sadly, Miss Rolling Karen tried to manipulate the story and make it seem as though like some protesters jumped on her. But she was the one wielding a knife and trying to stop people from looting a store that has insurance on the product that they have in there. She was more interested in protecting property than interested in protecting human beings, because she doesn't even see them as human beings. They don't. They see them as capital that is useless to them until they need it. So I'm not interested in y'all talking about some, oh, they was wrong, girl. She should have got her ass. Like, now some of the comments and stuff were ableist. We should not be making jokes about her being in a wheelchair. We should not. Disabled people exist. People with disabilities exist. So I'm not. But sis, it'll be a fool if we don't smack you for getting your ass in the damn way. Okay, you was still a white woman at the end of the day. Your ass should not been right there. You should have moved your ass out the way. But sis was out there rolling around, and they snatched her right on up. She could have been moving out the way. Somebody give her some milk. But yeah, some folks were saying, oh, she got up and she started walking around. Just because a person gets out of a wheelchair for a couple of minutes or whatever does not mean that they're not disabled. Like, stop. Stop that. Like, stop. I saw a lot of people saying that, and it's disrespectful to our black folks who are wheelchair bound, like who use wheelchairs. Like, oh, they don't need no wheelchair, they can walk. What are you saying? Come on now, we can stop being ableist, cut that mess out. But still got that work, okay? We don't discriminate, honey. But girl, what else was going on? Christian Cooper, whatever his name, Christian, the black man that sent her accepted Amy Cooper's apology in the part. Girl, he doesn't surprise me. He probably got a white boyfriend. I'm so tired of y'all accepting white folks' apology for foolishness. Like, girl, no ma'am. Sis was wrong. She's gonna be dealt with accordingly. She was wrong for that. She was extremely wrong for that. Man. She knew exactly what she was doing when she weaponized her white tears. She knew what she was doing when she saw a black man. They saw color. Don't let these black folks tell you. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to my girl, Portia Williams. Sis was out there protesting in Atlanta this past weekend. Sis was out there protesting. She didn't really post too much about it. She didn't make a big scene out of it. But you got Candy out here putting songs out here that don't nobody want to hear. And talking about something, we need to stop this, we need to come together and sharing their stuff. These folks are tired and they're poor. And even the ones who probably ain't even poor, probably understand how capitalism works and how it's pillaging and looting and taking everything. Like, girl, you can't tell me about looting on land. We on land that has been looted from Native Americans. I'm not interested in y'all conversation about looted stuff. We black folks have been looted. They're property. They've been property. So I'm not interested in y'all telling me about this. Candy, you are a millionaire. You need to open your purse and shut your damn mouth. And I ain't interested in, like, you need to be opening your purse, paying your damn employees, paying your employees the adequate wages, giving your money out. Like, girl, absolutely not. I ain't interested in you posting no video. A lot of our housewife face was out here shoe shining, and I'm honestly not surprised. But I was proud of Portia. I was so proud of her. She was not getting these shoe shining teeth. She might be paying attention to King Reed. You know, she might be watching. You never know. But girl, I think I covered everything. This was just a special King of Reed's video talking about the stuff that's been going on the last couple of days. I wanted to, you know, dive into a couple of the topics and stuff. They were very, very serious. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about these things that was going on. Girl, I am about to get into some more things. Morphin Power Rangers. But I love y'all so much. Y'all enjoy y'all evening. Be safe. If you need a friend, I'm here for you. Come on, vocals. I love y'all. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Move, bitch. She's stabbing people. Hey. She got a knife. She got a knife.